Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir! I am Officer Mike Meekins, sir!
Mike? Okay.
Okay. My occupation is, that would be murderer, sir!
Oh, case closed. We're done here.
Yeah, case closed. So you're telling us you're a professional killer?
Your Honor. Objection. A professional killer is a hitman, not a murderer. There is a difference. One is a psychopath, and one is a paid profession. Or something.
Oh boy.
I can't remember the exact wording.
Meekins is definitely not... Meekins is definitely not made for this. Sir, it was me, sir! I'm the one who did it!
Alright then.
Meekins, are you okay? I'll never kill anyone again! Sir, you've got me to believe me, sir!
Somebody take that megaphone away from him.
Actually, what we'd like to hear from you is, sir, I'm what you would call part of the younger generation, sir!
Gen Z, am I right?
A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend!
Yep, Gen Z.
Please, Miss Edgeworth, sir, help me, sir! Officer Meekins. Yes, sir? Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I am a part of the generation that must be told what to do, sir. Man.
Oh my god.
Poor Meekins.
He's 22!
Oh my god.
Actually, from when this game was done and everything, he'd be a millennial.
Yeah, like he'd be a millennial, that's true. But like, he's young. 22 and a police officer?
I mean, he's just a normal patrolman.
That's true. That's true.
With police training and everything, that maybe takes... In America? I don't know, but it's short. It doesn't take a lot, to be honest. It really should. I mean, Miles Edgeworth was a prosecutor, apparently at the age of 22, letting the world know he exists.
That's a pretty fast lawyer education.
Okay, in Edgeworth's case, remember, he was trained by Von Comma. So, what do you expect? So, they're making fun of millennials in this one. And I took personal offense because I'm like the youngest millennial, and it pisses me off. I'm like right in between generations almost.
That must
depending
suck.
on when they exactly calculate it. I'm either the youngest millennial or I'm just barely a Gen Zer. Though 99% of the time it seems I'm a millennial, which is nice. I don't want to be a Gen Z after all. Whatever they're called.
You can't fault him for lack of enthusiasm. Crime report, sir!
Oh my god. I don't think I'll be able to deal with Meekins.
Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard at the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man at the security screen and rushed into the room.
Are there multiple entrances?
I have no idea, because that means his ID was not registered if you can just open it from the console or something. I don't know how that works.
No, depending on what the time was, multiple people did enter.
That is true. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then I did it. After that, I passed out until that officer smacked me awake.
Well then.
So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. Do unto others before they do unto you.
Fucking hate that megaphone.
That's the Meekins family motto, sir.
Wait, what's his motto?
Do unto others before they do unto you.
I like that motto. It means if anyone's a threat, I have to kill them before they kill me.
I see, then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir! He knocked me upside the head, sir! Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
What I need to hear is more info on that. What I need here is more info to work with. You were assigned guard duty in the evidence room. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not?
Yes, sir! I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir! Really?
Yikes. Now there's a scary thought.
Yeah.
He probably mostly does the paperwork and somebody else actually chooses who's hired.
Probably, yeah.
To be honest.
Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir.
What's that face?
It's his thinking face. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir! The lovely police mascot created by the chief of detectives, sir! Oh no. I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transferal process. Oh my god. That was my sole mission for the day, sir! I see. Sounds like a very, important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, so he moved it there. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there?
A suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room.
Press, I suppose?
Hold on. I want to look at something real quick. Is it safe to assume this is Meekins?
Yeah, I think 4989 might be Meekins.
So if this is Meekins, he entered twice for whatever reason. Then who the hell is this?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too.
In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct?
Precisely, sir. I have one right here and around my neck. Yeah, it's been hanging down in your lanyard for a while.
Wait a second. This police department, this evidence room is terribly guarded if any officer can enter it with their ID card.
Well, at least it leaves a list of who enters, right?
Only with IDs. Anyone can. I could hand you my ID card if we work together, and you could go in there and pretend to be me in terms of the ID.
That is true.
This is just terrible security. Normally, with security, you'd only give access to the people who actually need to go in there, so the detectives. Unless
yes,
this is...
but remember, you cannot open the lockers unless you actually are coded for it.
But not everything in there is locked up.
That is again true, but I think all the evidence is for the most part.
For the most part, but not everything. Just from a security point of view, you still shouldn't be allowed in there unless you are like a detective.
Yeah, probably.
So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right?
There it is! I found it!
Damn it.
This is the one right here, right here. Could you please read us the number?
777777. Oh my god, Meekins!
Yes, sir. It's 498-956. Oh my god. 498-9596. That's my number, sir.
I see. Huh. But the number 4989596 is shown as being used twice.
Please explain, witness. It's not a mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. That makes sense. And the second time is when I went to get him after everything settled down. I see. So it was during the second time when... Yes, sir. That's when I spotted the man on the security screen. Okay, that is
Wait a
important
second.
information.
So, he went in there at 5:14 and saw Detective Goodman alive, and he tried killing him. When a minute later, he's a half hour away by car, being stabbed.
Yeah, which does not make sense. Which is literally impossible.
That's it. There's a fake somewhere around here.
As someone is a fake. Only doing what I was trained to do, sir?
Suddenly attacked. So, you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you?
It was a knife, sir! A knife! Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you? What happened then? Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was.
You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into.
That's what I reacted, sir! I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, that's how I got this gash on my hand. Maybe if you just keep your cool, your hand wouldn't be... When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. I fought for my life.
Then I did it. What exactly do you mean when you say, did it?
I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him.
You took his knife.
I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver.
I don't care if you're into kung fu films, you ain't doing that shit unless you practice that shit.
And then Meekin surprises us and knows kung fu.
So, Meekins is not only into kung fu films, the dude must, assuming he's telling the truth, he actively practices kung fu. So you're going to go into his home and see training dummies. And holes in walls and shit. I just know it.
That would be kind of funny, actually. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. Yeah, you're not supposed to do that in martial arts.
See, he must have been desperate.
The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood. And then the next thing I knew... Yes? He punched me right in my face, sir! After that, he passed out.
About what time did you regain consciousness?
No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to react? I was unconscious. That's a good point.
Oh, right.
According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30. He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain. That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is.
Oh, that's nice that you woke up in pain. Ah, if only I could.
When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission. Sir!
Your mission.
Yes, sir. The Blue Badger. Sir! I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand.
Well, we can all rest easy now.
I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim?
He's got a point.
Yes, Officer Meekins. With regard on that, sir... Take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gann delivered it to me just this morning, sir. The chief?
Delivered it?
What is that? A videotape? Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room.
I fucking hate that megaphone.
What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape. and was told it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. That's the only thing I'm really good at.
Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever. A lot of companies and organizations actually do have communication issues.
Yeah.
So it's not that surprising.
Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me.
A video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into? Alright, for all of you out there that don't like murder, stay tuned. Gotta get over your fear. The Blue Badger!
Oh, the Blue Badger!
In front of Gumshoe's locker.
Of course the Blue Badger is doing that.
A glove fell out.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Wow. This is a horrible security camera.
No, it actually makes sense as a security camera goes.
But that didn't show him murdering the...
I need to watch that again. I need to see something.
I think that...
Edgeworth.
Oh, poor Edgeworth.
I mean, it shows Meekins getting murdered more than anything.
Oh, yeah. Well, I believe we all think the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us?
What?
What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood? Sir, that is the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir! It's the Blue Badger, sir!
Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly?
Yes, well, anyway.
Hold on. Can I watch it again, by chance? Will it let me?
You can. And I think I've already noticed.
The light is on.
Yeah, the light is on.
So the light is on, which means it's open, and there's
Also,
no cloth in there.
Yeah, there's no... Yeah. So the thing is already opened. And then we have Meekins coming in.
Maybe you should watch ninja films.
He confronts him. He draws a knife on him.
He cuts his hand, it gets on the coat. Meekins is attacked. Meekins is now unconscious.
And then there's a piece of cloth coming out.
Which means somebody, whoever locker that is, could open it.
Oh, yeah.
And whose fingerprint did we get on that? Marshall?
Marshall. Yes, well, anyway. This tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter, someone in the evidence room, and some sort of, activity did take place. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage...
No, that footage gives us a lot, actually, Edgeworth.
The witness's testimony will suffice. Is that alright with you, Officer Meekins?
No.
Yes, sir! As you wish, sir! Mystery Man. His face can't be clearly seen in the video. But there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir.
Why is there no question about that?
I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do.
He does look like that.
The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him! No one else could have unlocked it! Except... we know. What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock.
You know, that's actually quite a number of detectives.
These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to.
Why would they go about that in this method, though? That's kind of weird.
Yeah. Intriguing. That would mean... the victim at the crime scene would have been Detective Goodman. Have to have been. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination.
I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. Clearly, Your Honor, Detective Goodman is capable of teleportation.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Can't be clearly seen in the video. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife?
Sir, if you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe I would be classified as the latter?
The latter? But you were standing right in front of him, were you not?
More to the point, you are the person who fought him, aren't you? Oh, yes, sir. But I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir.
Okay, that is actually understandable. He was sneaking up behind the dude, he turned around, and was attacked right away. You're going into defense.
Yeah, he's focusing on the knife.
His hand was cut. And then he was pushed against the wall, punched in the face, and then thrown. Most people would not be able to remember the face of the person in that situation, I think.
Yeah, I think Meekins went into panic mode at that point.
Most people would.
I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, you see.
Okay, Meekins, I just gave you a full-on defense, and you just ruined it.
Yeah, typical. Typical Meekins.
Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer.
Still, I'm shit with him! I'll bet my badge on it!
That's a bet you're gonna lose. Unless the corpse isn't him. You don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face.
Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as having seen or not seen it. Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it. Why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label you as disturbing or... Meekins? Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now please be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir! You claimed the man who brandished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive it was him.
You open the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprints. About these lockers, there's no other way to open them.
No, sir. I myself tried all the kind of methods in the past. They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir.
Why were you trying?
Probably just to do his job. He's probably very meticulous.
I wonder what kind of methods he's tried.
If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to its registered fingerprints, then he must be the person the locker was assigned to.
Your Honor, have you not seen spy movies? Like,
no,
seriously?
what's a spy movie?
Oh my god, Your Honor. You're fired.
I don't go to the cinema often. I mostly go there to watch cartoons.
Wow. Actually, the cinema wouldn't really have cartoons during this era. Then again,
Yes,
this isn't America, Japan.
But when I grew up, cinemas had cartoons.
Do you mean anime, sir?
I don't know what that means. Exactly my point, sir, and this too!
Locker open is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. How do you know that information?
I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir.
People in the know.
The workers in the department's cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir.
Romantic troubles? Meekins? Nah. You'd never have
Meekins? Really? For the record, the open log did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source.
Probably through asking, like, hey, yo, who's this locker belong to? Security dude.
So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint.
However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face.
Sir! If I may say something, sir! Please do. After all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir.
Seems like you kind of succeeded with your hand.
My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir.
I fucking hate when you do that along with that stupid megaphone.
But it makes sense.
It does.
Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is... unless the defense can find a problem with it. Mr. Wright, let's check the record record again.
Is there a problem with the security video?
Yes, there is. There is.
Regarding the video contained on this tape, there's one thing in particular that seems rather strange.
Strange?
This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman.
What? The video contains such a contradiction? Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I propose we have the defense point out to us the alleged contradiction in the video.
He would want me to point it out.
Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence.
I mean, you don't even need that to be a proposal. It's like, oh, there's a contradiction? Show us.
But like, Edgeworth is wanting you to do this. Like, it is very obvious.
Well,
He's
yes,
guiding
but
you.
I'm just talking about, like, it's logical. There's an issue with this tape. Really? Why don't you show us what it is? Like, of course, if you're pointing out, saying there's a problem, you gotta prove it.
Oh yeah.
So, no matter what, whether Edgeworth kept his mouth shut or not, Phoenix would still have to be the one to prove it because he's the one pointing it out. He's telling them, yeah, there's a problem.
I will now play a security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of.
I have to point out a problem in the video? This is the first time I've ever had to do that.
You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video.
Good.
Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times, I can't start watching this video.
How did this guy ever become a police officer?
That's what I'm always wondering. Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where's the contradiction that indicates the man may not have been Detective Goodman?
These controls are terrible. Oh, the music still goes. Cool. I'm assuming this?
Yeah.
The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins.
Sir, do you mean me, sir?
As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this.
Oh my god, the music.
Why? It works like this. The Blue Badger theme plays. And then... when you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match, the light turns on and the lock is released.
According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir.
If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture.
Do. Wait, have you just seen the whole thing?
I don't
Again?
know. I don't have any control.
They're really showing off the fact they can have 3D models in now, aren't they?
I guess. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier. Oh my god. We're going back in time, everybody.
Well, this is how court cases work, I suppose. Or trials.
Here, notice the light?
What's this? It's already lit!
Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle.
Ah! Order! Order! What's the meaning of this?
It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime.
But the locker locks are controlled by an electric system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered. And a locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know! It must have broken down!
No, something fell out of the locker, probably keeping it open.
Oh, good point.
When you saw the glove,
Oh yeah!
the glove fell out after he opened it, which means it was likely holding it open.
Of course, I'm not an expert at this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut.
Yeah, Mthis, you should always listen to me when it comes to tech. You novice.
Yeah, you're pretty good at tech, so...
I'm decent.
So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation?
Me, Your Honor? Yes, actually I do, but as I am Phoenix Wright, I will be like, no.
Yes, why was the locker locked?
Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Oh my god.
Huh? Oh, maybe something like jammed the system sensor.
Something jammed the sensor? Say, there's something else that seems out of place in this video.
Yeah, I thought so too. There's got to be another clue somewhere in this footage. Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked. Mr. Wright, please point out the cause for this.
Nah. Speed up, speed up, speed up. Boom. It's glove.
The glove.
Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier.
Well, this is how they do it in a court trial, so...
Yes, but it's terrible games. And it's worse for speedrunners, come on.
Do people really speedrun Phoenix Wright?
If people have, I guarantee it.
What's this? Something white fell out of the locker? But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened.
Not always.
I often fall out and roll great distances when I open my car door, sir.
We can't be sure that item was completely inside the locker to begin with.
What do you mean?
The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door?
Inserted? And we just have to see the glove fall out again, I imagine?
I assume so. At least we don't have the Blue Badger music. Well, maybe it's kind of saddening we don't.
Yeah.
This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor.
Oh, I understand now, sir! It's just like my tie! 2 out of 3 times to get stuck in a door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir.
I thought you were in general affairs and helped with hiring. You also go out on patrol?
Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me. But that would have... but the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator, which it is.
You mean like I don't know, a thin rubber glove?
Yes, an insulator, but at the crime scene.
There just might have been something that fits the description.
But sir, by insulator, you don't mean...
I think I finally got this figured out. You know, it keeps skipping Meekins on its own. Just FYI, I'm not doing that.
I think that's intentional. Very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that was struck in the locker room?
Your Honor, it was my badge. It was this vase, Your Honor. Or this jar. No, it was this thing.
No, it was the rubber glove, obviously.
I found this near the locker. A thin rubber glove.
But we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker.
It has a tag that says SL9 incident. Les gasp. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker, but that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins?
Sir! It would appear so, sir! Order, order, order! So are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman?
Why are we assuming he was even stabbed?
Yeah.
Like, Judge, the video clearly shows he didn't get the knife. He was stabbed himself, or attacked at least.
Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated a possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this.
What?
Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir! Me, sir? I'm not sure what you are referring to, sir. Oh! You mean that, sir? Of course, sir!
Is this a joke?
Very well, begin your testimony. Mystery Man
2. Alright, time for more screaming.
There's one thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir! To enter the evidence room, one must use the ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. That's honestly a good point, but an ID card record, I see.
I mean, he's not wrong. But at the same time...
Someone could just have taken the card.
All this proves is that his ID card was there at 5:14.
Indeed.
Nothing more. That doesn't prove that's Goodman. Which means this thing is going to be useful. Probably.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is likely about a lost ID card since he started writing his ID and, well, he doesn't know his ID.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
he just decided not to finish it.
I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 5:14 is that of the victim. Just before the crime, yes, without a doubt this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due to transferal. Why were there so few people using this room?
I'm kind of been wondering the same thing this whole time. I just figured for a game, from a gameplay perspective, it's so you don't have like 7 pages worth.
This particular evidence room is used for storing certain special cases.
Special cases?
Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end.
Me too. Although it doesn't make much of a difference.
There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon.
Wouldn't they be on the list then?
Yeah, but like those are afternoon, so
Is it only afternoon? I thought it was just for the day.
Right. I see. Now let us move on to the cross-examination.
Like, I thought that list was for the day.
I suppose,
not the afternoon. Only one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. Blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna kill Meekins. So, unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you?
Yes, sir. Solid as a stone, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd even give the V for victory sign, sir. Couldn't he just use his right hand for that? Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, one never knows what he might say until the very last second.
Emma, Meekins is not the brightest tool there is.
Yeah, he's not.
Is that card hanging from your neck one of these ID cards?
Yes, sir. This card right next to my cuff, sir. I keep it there so I wouldn't ever forget it.
But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that?
Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck in the car when I get out of my car? Well, the remaining time it's my ID card that gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chokes me.
Maybe I should just leave this one alone.
At any rate, each police officer only has 1 ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. Please proceed with your testimony.
When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. Yeah, we know that, but... Let it be noted that this is the record the witness referred to.
Let me see. Yes, that would be it. Detective Goodman?
What's the matter?
According to this... Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. So it is, Your Honor.
Oh my god, did Edgeworth do it? Not that prosecutor again.
Maybe that he's behind all this. Being a prosecutor, he could hide the evidence.
Mommy's that man in blue, a murderer. You got the wrong color, kid, you fucking bastard.
It would seem... the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today.
Why?
Poor Edgeworth.
All he did was be in the evidence room. What is the issue?
Yeah. Like, he's allowed to, isn't he? I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue with the cross-examination. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. It must be so difficult for him.
We're getting text messages. No! Detective had used his card. Yes, we know that. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you.
Yes, sir! He didn't show me any ID cards, sir!
Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife.
Maybe he just panicked?
But why would you panic? You're in the evidence room of a place that you would assume to be safe.
Oh yeah, like...
There's no reason to panic. Like, it's not even
like
a place that just anyone can access. You have
like
to
just
work
show your
for the
ID
place.
card. Like, if you just show your ID card, you would be safe. That's as simple as that.
Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out.
Mr. Wright, what do you think?
I'm confused.
What?
The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this.
You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we got. The evidence room wants to use the ID card.
But what is the contradiction here? What do we have to work with? We obviously have this.
Yeah. We have the missing lost item report.
But where would I use that?
I would say at this point, but I'm not sure.
I think
perhaps
maybe on
that's
this
right.
one.
Okay, like we got the tries.
Wait one moment, Officer Meekins.
I'm not good at waiting, sir.
I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene.
That makes sense.
When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card.
Lost item report? It's only half completed.
But if it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime, something important enough to fill out this report.
Let me guess. You believe this something to be his ID card, right?
I can't say for sure, but there's a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card.
Order, order! So now, what does this all mean?
It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card.
Order, order, order! Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright.
Bravo?
Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room, Officer Meekins, encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright?
Yes. I have one more thing to add to that, though, Mr. Edgeworth. If you look at the video again. Yes. What's he up to?
That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murderer in this evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder.
That is... Well, I guess that's right.
Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around.
This isn't going to end well.
Well, well. It seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon.
Ah! I blame Meekins. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. Shit. was all a trap from the beginning.
The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. That's right. You have to do something, or else Lana...
What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of it?
Object, obviously.
Where's my mouse? Shh. I don't know what I'm objecting to, though. It's not wrong.
That is true.
So, I'm letting you choose.
Ugh.
Object or wait and see. I made a save right here, so... But make a choice. You're the scientific investigator, are you not?
Because we still had another thing to point out in the video recording.
Which is true, but I'm leaving the choice to you.
Wait and see what happens, I suppose.
I better pace myself. If I rush ahead, I might run right into another trap.
But Mr. Wright, if you don't do anything... It seems the defense is out of ammunition. The surrender flag has been raised.
Not sounding good.
Your Honor, may we have your ruling now? Don't give up, Miss Wright. Get up and fight.
Does it force it?
Apparently it does.
One moment, Your Honor.
What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven.
Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap.
What are you talking about?
This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder.
And then we see Meekins sitting down, and then when we turn back, there's now something sticking out of another locker. Right there.
However, it cannot be said that is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter.
Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor? If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is this prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any further witnesses for this incident.
This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand.
Oh yeah! It's right. Do you mean...
Did you hear that, Emma?
Apparently she does.
I need to get my mumbling under control. Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness.
Oh? Who do you have in mind?
Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room.
The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testified? What is his or her name?
Oof, I think it's Damon Gant. He's a Texan, right?
No, we know who it is. It's Jake Marshall.
You're right. It's Gumshoe. No, it's the Cough of Queen again. Oh no, it's Emma Skye. She's the one.
We all know it's Jake Marshall.
Seriously, there's not really much choice here. There's no reason to get Gumshoe. We're defending her. She's our buddy. We already interviewed her. He's dead. We just dealt with him, and Gant is Gant. There's literally two-ish choices.
Yeah, and it's gonna be Jake.
Also, they kind of said a certain Texan, Texas Ranger. So it's like, who else is a cowboy around here? Officer Jake Marshall.
Why him?
I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say.
The prosecution agrees to the defense's request.
Is that how court works? The defense would like this person. The prosecution says no. Well, you're fucked, defense.
I have no idea if that's how it works. It sounds very weird to me, but... Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witnesses
subpoenaed.
Not subpoenaed, right. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess.
Yay for recess. And... may as well just finish this part because after this it'll be going to Jake, so...
That's true. So let's just get through this. February 24th, 11:32 a.m. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright?
Huh? What do you mean?
You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you have figured everything out.
I haven't figured anything out. I'm just winging it.
Lana? You're the one who knows everything.
What is she, Mia?
Emma. You always know everything. Why don't you just tell us?
Because if I told you everything, this wouldn't be much of a game.
Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me?
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals.
Ah, gums you, just at the right time.
Oh, guess I am. I'll, come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? I'm back. You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals.
Sorry, Detective.
You better be, pal. Hey, 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 hi! I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky.
That's okay, so have you brought what I asked?
Oh! You mean this, right? What the fuck is that?
My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request.
My name? Never a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident?
But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them.
I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor. We're a witness in that case. Miss Sky was a witness? SL9 incident files received. Joe Doc killer.
Intriguing.
Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murderers. Oh, what? Now that I brought you your stuff, you're just going to ignore me? Emma? But why? Why is your name in here?
What? My name is in there? I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this is a SL9 incident, is that? That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Doc killings. The Joe Doc? No, no, Lana. That's over with. No.
Emma, wait! She ran away. You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence.
Knowing you might just be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck.
I'd better take a good look at this file.
Oh,
And
okay,
we will
this is
do
a good
that
point.
next episode.
Yeah!
Whenever I can save. Adios.